Hello there, let me introduce myself. My name is Uliana, my surname is Ormbasar. I am 21 years old. I was born in the village of Kazakhstan, Tel Aviv region, but now I live in Shymkent. I am interested in cooking. I love to cook special dishes. And I love dishes with potatoes, and I think dishes with potatoes are very tasty. I have a mother, a sister, and two younger brothers. My mother is also a teacher. She teaches geography, and I'm interested in reading books. My interest in reading books started from a very young age. When I was in 5th grade, my mom gave me a big book of fairy tales. It was so interesting book. I read this book even while eating. Now I like to read books about religion and psychology. So what about my education? This year I finished my bachelor degree at the university, South Kazakhstan State Pedagogical University in the city of Shymkent. The specialty teacher of 2 foreign languages, English and German. Since childhood I dreamed of being a teacher, but as a child I wanted to be a Kazakh language teacher. In the 11th grade, after consulting with my mother, I decided to choose the profession of an English teacher. I do not regret choosing this profession, so my life for English language started in 11th grade. Said that happy is the one who goes to work with pleasure in the morning and returns home with joy in the evening. It's about the teacher. A teacher is not just a profession. This is a special mission, special mindset, responsibility, dedication, patience, skill, and creativity. Being a teacher is not for indifferent people, as it requires a lot of mental and emotional investment. A teacher is a way of life. While still at school and looking at my teacher, I dreamed of being like her. Her professionalism, respect, and sincerity in communicating with us, her ability to find an approach to each student, all this helped me decide on the choice of my future profession. Today, modern society places new demands on teachers. A teacher is a scientific supervisor, mentor, researcher, and a specialist in the use of information and communication technologies. I believe that the knowledge I have laid down should benefit students and be useful to them in later life. To do this, you need to know the subject being taught well, master a variety of teaching and educational methods, have great patience, and most importantly, constantly learn and improve yourself. I teach children and I learn myself at the same time. Our profession is so alive that it does not allow us to stand still. It requires us to constantly be aware of all events. I try to make the new generation feel in me a person who lives in their time, in their interests. I'm a happy person because I chose my profession and I fell in love with it for the rest of my life, and I have the opportunity to explore this extraordinary world again and again together with my students. Why did I choose English? Because knowing English has many benefits. English is the most widely used language in the world, with more than 1.5 billion speakers around the globe. When you learn English as a second language, we will be joining a global community and be able to communicate effectively in every continent. English is an essential language for anyone working in science or research. There are many world-famous publications written and printed in this language. Students who have to do research at an academic level or learn about new scientific discoveries must have a strong command of English. You will not be able to read practicals, or when you want to publish research work, it would likely need to be written in English. The benefit of studying English is that you will have more opportunities to study abroad. This is because English is the official language of many countries, and many countries teach this subject as a compulsory requirement in schools. Moreover, many famous universities in the world are located in English-speaking countries. The discipline at the schools are also primarily taught in this language. So, if you want to study abroad at top universities, then proving your English proficiency is a must. Regardless of your academic achievement, you will be required to pass the relevant tests and reach a certain level of English. If you are conversant with a foreign language, that will be an advantage. For example, if you want to attend an English-speaking university like Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, or Cambridge, passing the English tests is essential. You may not know the benefit of learning English is to improve creativity. Some researchers claim that learning a second language helps you think more creatively. When the brain is flexible, it will increase creativity in problem solving. Moreover, when your reading comprehension in English is proficient, you will learn many new things from books or studies in foreign language. This gives you a lot of useful knowledge, serving for study, work, and life. What about my practice time? I completed a practice at the Nazarbayev Intellectual School in the field of chemistry and biology in the city of Shymkent. How we, for the students of a pedagogical university, waited and then heard here. After all, these few weeks at school should show whether I made the right choice by entering of the pedagogical university, whether I will succeed, whether I will like it. It was incredibly interesting to try myself in a new role as a teacher. Already on the first day, I was able to get acquainted with the class to which the head teacher of the school sent me. They gave me class 8B. It seemed to me that I would never be able to remember the names of all the children, but less than a week had passed before each child became a separate person for me. So my 2 months practice taught me a lot. How to plan a lesson, how to interest children, how to evaluate children. I learned all this in practice, and I attended an open lesson in my assigned class every day at school. Was a great experience for me. What would I do if I were a teacher? If I were a teacher, I would try to light the soul of as many students with the light of knowledge as were possible. To be a perfect teacher is quite a challenging task. So, first of all, I would make my knowledge and the teaching skills of the highest standard. Children learn more indirectly. I would ensure I presented myself as a perfect role model of discipline, conduct, dedication, responsibility, and responsibility for learning. I would have a smart interactive board connected to internet in place of traditional blackboard. I would painstakingly make smart lessons for my students. I would have all the computerized lesson and the content for all the concepts that I would teach. So I would ensure total participation and the involvement of many students. My classroom would be bright, colorful, and learning conducive, where I would have some inspirations posters put up. I would organize interesting learning activities in the classroom, such as debates, quizzes, role plays, seminars, presentation, and group discussion, etc. So, if I were a teacher, I would make learning fun and exciting for my students. I would use creative teaching methods to help kids understand new concepts. As a teacher, I would be patient and understanding with each student's needs. I would encourage my students to ask questions and share their ideas openly. I would create a safe and welcoming environment for everyone. I would plan interesting field trips to help kids learn more about the world. So, as a teacher, I would be a good listener and help my students solve their problems. I would celebrate the achievements and the progress of each child in my class. And I would always be ready to learn new things and improve my teaching skills. And I would be a great role model and inspire my students to be their best. If I were a teacher, I would include a lot of games in my lessons. All students, regardless of age, have one thing in common. They have short attention spans and they cannot sit and study for long periods of time. Just 30 minutes before the lecture, you may find them staring blankly at the ceiling or asking trivial questions. Why we should include games in our lessons more often? First, mindfulness will definitely boost your mood with fun games at school. According to a study conducted by researchers at the University of Wisconsin, a small amount of entertainment significantly increases the concentration of students. It's easy to see your students getting excited about games in the classroom, as fun games in the classroom are often upbeat and require a lot of attention to win. Second, motivation. More than a dozen times, students often look forward to a lesson or activity if it includes a fun game. And if they feel motivated, they can overcome even the most difficult learning obstacles. Cooperation. By participating in classroom games in pairs or teams, your students will eventually learn to cooperate with others and work in harmony, as there are no right or wrong action, only achievable goals at the end of the road. Bonding. Playing games is a great way to form a special bond with your students. They will think that you are a cool teacher who knows how to create a welcoming atmosphere and have fun, in addition to teaching dry topics. Reinforcement of learning. Reinforcement of learning, the main purpose of classroom games is for students to learn using non-traditional teaching methods. By turning hard knowledge into something enjoyable, your students will have positive learning memories that are much easier to recall during exam time. The teaching profession is a very difficult and a responsible one. How noble it is to give others knowledge, to be an assistant in life. Of course, not everyone can become a real teacher. I believe that need to be born. Checking notebooks, preparing for lessons, all this takes a lot of time and effort. The teacher needs not only to test knowledge and explain new topics, but also to educate children to be kinder, fairer. Being a real teacher is a talent. I believe that every teacher is deserves of love and respect.